පිරිමින් සඳහාමයි. Boss, you're the one who lifted this company to where it is today, ne? Your work is so well organized and your capability really shines through it.
While you're working hard to earn your yearly bonus, save money with Commercial Bank's Power Bonus. Open an account with just 5,000 rupees and earn bonus interest every 3 months straight.
Hi, I'm Tarinder Radvas. To all the schools participating in the Schools Rugby League 2025, we wish you all the very best and good luck.
Samada Samahan, Samada Suin.
The road is yours.
German-engineered tyres for Sri Lankan roads. Seat car radials. The road is yours.
Park Avenue, long-lasting fragrance, unshakable confidence.
උස්වත්ත පවුලින් හඳුන්වා දෙන රසයක් බැයියා චර්පි චිප්ස් රිදෙන්නේ දැනෙන රස.
දවසම ෆ්‍රෙෂ් වෙන්න O3 Spirit and Freedom perfumed body spray.
We're back live at Havelock Park, and the expectant crowd anxiously awaits the kickoff of this game, which will be moments away. And this is a Wesley section of the crowd. And what's really interesting from the team sheets that we have before us, and will be on your screens in a few moments, SW, is that it's almost the exact team sheet that Wesley have from last year, and that shows the way they have been playing. Here's St. Peter's, though, the visitors today. Ashwas Farooq, Sithila Nimsara, Janut Ratnayaka, Revan Pereira and Talis Choisaha, the big engine room. Lucky Duranasinghe, Harsha Madhugaspe and the large Shenuka Pereira will be used off the back of that scrum. Rehan Sahid pairs off with Ashok Krishan. Rajit Jion on the left wing. Pramukha Aditya and the dangerous Senuth Dinsara in the number 13 position. Vihan Rusit makes it to the starting 15 after being in and out of the starting 15 last year, and Vishenka Silva restored to the fullback's berth, the captain. Pereira, Herft, Kamil, Aros, Jayaratna, Noel, Abegunavardhana, Wahab, Mantusha and Pamudita will make up the reserves bench for St. Peter's, the challengers today. And this is the Wesley team we were talking about. Pawan Thiranagama makes a move from the second row to the front. Keshara Rahul and Nelit Hapugala, Hamdam Safras and Manuja Jayavira, and Hivin Utmika, Naham Hemachandra and Sandul Gamampilla, the captain, makes up the third row for Wesley College. Shafran Wadud and Kaiser Lai, who's come up leaps and bounds in that number 10 shirt. Prarthana Rodrigo, Danush Disanayak and Mohammad Fawaz moves from the wing to the centres. Kavisha Dilhara and Abdul Hadi, one of the co-vice captains, unfortunately missing Thabit, who's broken his nose, the other vice captain, so Wesley will have to do without him today. Silva, Onassis, Rahman, Atvidu, Miskin, Janethi, Imtikab, Hisham, Lakendra and Ryan on the bench to finish off the game for Wesley. The Double Blues looking good value this season, SW.
Yeah, they have. So it's left out to see how they perform under tremendous. I mean, St. Peter's is a side that any team would like to play with, and they have been tremendous. They're defending champions, so it all boils to one thing: is hope it will be a cracker of a match, and I hope the players will not hold back whatever the talent that they want to unleash today.
This is a game that will have an impact on the league title as well. Don't forget that these two teams are probably going to advance from this group into the Super Round, and once they get into the Super Round, the points that they scored against those Super Round opponents will count even if they don't play them again. So this is very much a match that will have an impact on the league proceedings, and the supporters from both teams know that as well. They know the intensity of this battle. The referees are out there, everyone is ready, and we're waiting for the teams to run out here at Havelock Park. It's going to be a cracking game with the defending champions, as SW said, St. Peter's, unwilling to let go of that title. And if we know anything about Sanat Martis' teams, SW, it's the fact that they've got some real fight in them and will not give up to the end.
Yeah, that's for sure. As we wait for the long flags are out, it's a new thing that we have seen in the recent past. The teams coming under their flags, and the junior players, the future of their school rugby players, holding it on as we wait for Wesley and St. Peter's. Having said that, you're right, absolutely. St. Peter's is not going to let it go very easily, and knowing their coach Martis, who is so committed, as we see the flags waving, I see the crowds, sea of blue. I'm sure that's from the Wesley College supporters.
Yes, this is a home game for Wesley, let's not forget, even though it is very much within the home turf of the Patrites, who reside just up the road at Bambalapitia. The Bamba Brigade have very little distance to travel down here. Of course, Wesley coming all the way from Campbell Park in Baralla. But this ground is looking pretty good, SW. It used to be pretty dusty ground back in the day, but they've done some excellent work on it, and now with the rains that we've had as well, it's as soft as it's ever been.
Yeah, I think the rains coming down would have certainly helped the ground staff to maintain it, and hopefully it will be maintained right through the season, not only the club school season but going into the club season too.
And here's the crowds who've turned their heads and seen their heroes coming out. Wesley out first, led by Sandul Gamanpilla. And the cracker is going off. And debris from the roof falling on us here in our commentary position as well. Firecrackers really should remain on the pitch, and I don't think we need them off the pitch in any school game or any real sporting occasion. St. Peter's led by Vishenka Silva. Had a bit of a torrid start to his season, but now we'll want to focus just on scoring tries, which is something he's very, very good at. Outstanding performer last season for St. Peter's, leading them to that charge of a title. As both teams come into their final huddle, final few instructions, final few words of inspiration from their captains, as this man also, Kalum Sandaruwan and Charan Iliyanage, the first assistant, they were up in Kandy yesterday watching over Dharmaraja taking on St. Thomas's. They will be ably assisted by Amila Rajakaruna, who is the second AR today. Fast open game, SW. As someone who's refereed a lot of games yourself, you want Kalum Sandaruwan to be the least talked about person today, don't we?
Absolutely, that's what they must look into, say the least seen player, person on the field, the 31st player on the field is a referee who didn't be bothered by anyone. Just concentrate on the game. Referee is a simple art. All you got to do, was the action of the player was fair enough for the opponent to get the ball or not. That's all you got to check there. Yes, the rules are there, laws are there. You know about you can't drink and drive, but a lot of them do. So likewise, you got to control it, see that there is fair play to contest the ball. That's all you got to do, and safety of the player.
It's a simple game, rugby. It's meant to be played by players on their feet, having an even contest for the ball. Once you understand those things, everything else falls into place, as Wesley ask for their final favours. And the final huddle also will be missing their vice captain today, Hafiz Thabit. And this dangerous broken field runners of St. Peter's will be itching to have a go at this Wesley defense, which has been pretty watertight this season so far. That's the captain, Sandul Gamanpilla, son of a former captain as well, Asanka, who is very much a household name in rugby media. As Vishenka will kick off for St. Peter's, going right to left on your screens as you join us from everywhere around the world, from the Middle East, from Australasia, from North America, as Vishenka Silva kicks off on the papare.com in this much anticipated St. Peter's versus Wesley encounter in the Dialogue Schools Rugby League. Taking their time, and it's put up immediately by Shafran Wadud. And it's knocked back by the Wesley chaser and picked up nicely by Nimsara, who was chasing back the front row forward. It's taken back inside 22, so can't kick it out. It's partially charged down, so it's anybody's ball at the moment. It's gone back off a Wesley player, so that ball fell forward and it hit the player in front, which is why that was ruled an offside.
Yeah, I think Shanaka
There was a tackle, and the tackler didn't roll away there. So Revon Pereira in the thick of things in the number 4 jersey for the Peterites. And that big front 5, making sure they get a march on. That's where the tackle occurred, SW. I think the Wesleyites were still under the impression it was still a maul and they didn't have to move, but the maul had disintegrated by that time.
Or may have thought that they have driven over the line.
Again, nicely taken in the front. Wesley opting not to contest. Peterites being shoved towards the touchline, so they'll have to break away.
Tackle, release.
That's exactly what they do.
Number 7.
Number 7, Hemachandran needs to get away. Does so just in the nick of time, and that's Shanuka being driven back by some solid defense by the Double Blues. Still the big lads latching on each other, pounding away at this blue wall. It's been sustained pressure from St. Peter's for this first 6 minutes of the game. Sahid, nowhere to go. Runs straight into his number 1, Janidu Ratnayaka. Still available for the Peterites though. Play on is the call. And Nimsara is cut down 5 meters short. Now they're 4 meters short. It's slow ball, but Shanuka smashing into the center field, shows and goes. There's Ashok, but an excellent tackle by Keshara Rahul. Still available for St. Peter's on the corner.
Tackle, please. Number 8.
Good scrambling defense by Wesley, but the Peters forwards are right there. Here's Sahid. Shifts it on to the big number 1, Ratnayaka.
Low ball available.
Sahid. Here he is in centre field at the hooker Nimsara. Wesley recovering and folding really well in their defense. Good discipline from both teams here. St. Peter's have lost a little bit of ground, but they still have the ball.
Get back. 5, get back. 5.
Plenty of phases strung together so far. Here's Ashok, here's Shanuka. Good tackle on him, it's low, and there's a tackle assist from Abdul Hadi as well. Here's Senut Dimsar, the dangerous Senut Dimsar. Here's Vishankar Silva, gets a lovely pass away, but it's forward. And that brings us to an end of a wonderful passage of play from both teams. And Rajit Jayan thought he was under the post, but unfortunately for him, that ball had gone ever so slightly forward according to the referees.
Yeah, fantastic play by the both centre forwards. Wesley, most of the time in defence, as you can see, that was a very unfortunate fault. But both sides, Wesley's defence has held on. St. Peter's, on the other hand, has kept possession and tried everything on the book to get over the white line. But so far they have failed, and now the second scrum, and Wesley has got the loose head to it.
Bleed, doctor.
It's a blood injury, so there will need to be a quick substitution or a quick bit of patching up done. So as much as they've come in as underdogs to this particular game, St. Peter's have shown that they'll happily wear that tag. They've not moved out of the opposition 22 for almost 7.5 minutes.
Lead changer.
But to their credit, West have settled down now, and the tension is palpable. You can cut it with a knife here at Havelock Park. Lakinder Ranasinghe has been one of the go-to men in the line-out for the Peters boys.
So far, Shanika, territory-wise and possession-wise, it's been all St. Peter's. At the end of the day, somebody might ask you, who gave that tag as underdogs to us? And we got the better of the team. But having said that, both teams are doing their job. That's the main thing. You see, one side is attacking, the other side is defending and holding on. And that's why the score, 7, 8, almost 8 minutes, and the scorers have not been troubled.
So an interesting tactic here from Wesley. They're feeding in from the right side of the scrum. As you know, the new rules say any member of the front row can hook. This one keep the scrum half away from the clearing kicker. And it's a lovely thump by Abdul Hadi. He needs someone chasing back though. As the Pete Wright back three can be very dangerous. Here's the most dangerous player of last year, Vishenka Silva, but his pass is not an accurate one. And into the corner goes St. Peter's, trying to recover. Wesley will be very happy with that outcome. Smashed back in a tackle behind the gain line was the Pete Wright forward. And this time Sahid will set himself up for the box. It's being nicely chased by Rusit, and it's a good contest in the air, but it's knocked forward.
Off that if they do kick the ball and rolls in and goes into 22 meter, do they get the benefit of the 50-22 or 20 on the last occasion?
It's been knocked on by Peters first. You could see it off the scrum, off the tap there. So your question is, SW, if it's taken back into the 22, but it's as long as he's in the 50. As long as he's in your half and you kick it out in the opposition 22, then yes, the rule would apply. Big battle in the front by both teams, but ball is available, so they will play on. Mohammad Fawaz opting to straighten. There was a little bit too much of a gap between him and his outside backs. And very clearly obstructing the play there was a Pete Wright defender. Lai.
Number 9, high tackle.
It's 2 penalties in a row for the Pete Wrights. Here's the drop kick. It's not a great one this time. He had one
Number 9.
in the last occasion that he put on the double blues jersey, did Kaiser Lai, but that time he didn't make the connection. And
Number 9, high tackle.
the high tackle from Sahid is what has got penalized.
So double do, 2 bites of the cherry. That's what you may call it. But nevertheless, you saw the referee's hand playing advantage. Might as well go for it. Be sure you're getting the penalty. And I must say, Wesley in the attack has been quite impressive. The few seconds that they have gone so far.
Yes, they have. They've been pretty good with and without the ball. But I have to say, if I was put a gun to my head and somebody asked me to pick, I would have to say their attack is slightly better than their defense. As Abdul Hadi smacks this one straight through the posts. He's been very good off the tee. Just hovering about the list of top scorers. But needs to get his accuracy up if he's to really challenge and take Wesley home in these tight encounters. This is the first time that his kicking may come to the party to make a difference. And the first points of the day scored by Wesley despite that intense period of 10 minutes of pressure from St. Peter's, who could not convert. Vishenka Silva to kick off. Tirunagama allowed a little bit of a run, but the ball goes backwards and nicely snaffled by St. Peter's. He's got to be careful, Naham Hemachandra. Wants to go after the ball, but not sure his technique is supporting him at the moment.
Get back. Number 5, get back. Number 5, advantage. Number 5.
Tirunagama giving away a penalty. And St. Peter's playing with advantage now.
Number 5. My call le ganda. Man call ko not back.
Number 5 not getting out of the way.
Number 5. Offside.
Sanaka, we got 12 minutes, 12 seconds on the clock. And St. Peter's has been all the way for 11 minutes. May I put it 11 minutes? And Wesley, just a minute, and they're 3 points up.
Certainly. And you have to ask whether St. Peter's, in such a close encounter, SW missed a trick in not taking some of those earlier penalties. They were going for the corner, and it's good to be positive. But you've got to respect the opposition you're playing as well. It's not all about the bonus points. Sometimes it's just about the win.
Sometimes it's got to be negatively positive.
30 seconds.
Or positively negative SW, as Rajit Jion takes plenty of steps back, lining this one up just about a meter or so outside the 15-meter mark. Havelock Park is hushed, as he has 10 seconds to make his kick. Pulls it just wide of the left hand upright, and the scores stay as they are. Jion knows that his connection was not the best one. He won't mind that. He'll have more opportunities in this game. And you can see that even though they're leading by a wafer-thin margin, the Wesley crowd is on the edge of their seats. They know that this game is a crucial one in their title ambitions. Kaiser Lai now with the 22-meter dropout. Those unmistakable red cycle shorts. Vishenka Silva looking for the 50-22. That's Lai who knocks it backwards. Oh, but not backwards enough, says the referee. No complaints from Lai, who knew exactly what happened. Abdul Hadi, the co-vice captain, going up to his young fly half. You can see that bullet of a kick from Vishenka Silva. It's a difficult one to field, that low trajectory, but Lai should really have done better. So last time they had a scrum in this position, they came to their line. This time will Shanuka Pereira go off the back of the scrum? Yes, he will. Good draw and pass. 8-9-14. Unfortunately, there's a bit of confusion in the defensive line and the offensive line. And what was a promising start to a set-piece move has ended up with Wesley snaffling the ball. And Hamdan Safraz will... Abdul Hadi to clear his lines. Beautifully done by Wesley under pressure.
Shanak Abdul Hadi's son, father too, played for Wesley on the wing. And he was quick off his feet too. And the son got a long, beautiful boot in there. He'll get long distance kicking and to get at least to earn about 40 meters for his side.
He's taken them just about over halfway. And the Pete Wright line-out has been good so far. They go to the back this time, and it's nicely taken by Hatan Madhugaspe. Again, the ball security for St. Peter's not being the best. It's an interesting one because St. Peter's suddenly fell over that ball. Larkin the runner saying coming off back, and you can see the pass. And unfortunately just had one hand hold, and this is where I thought that going straight over the top might have resulted in a penalty. But they went back for the knock-on, which was before the other offence. Wadud to Lai. In the line is Abdul Hadi, manages that diagonal raking kick towards Vihan Riswith. Vihan Riswith dancing along a tightrope there. The arriving St. Peter's forwards. From the base, he's forced to clear is Sahid. This time dancing along the touchline was Kavisha Dilhara. Bit of a kicking battle. Shanuka Pereira shows what he's made of. Smashes Wadud back. And that has put a little bit of volume into the Peters crowd. That's what people come to see. The big hits And taken quickly that time by St. Peter's. Vishenka Silva. Tackle made. And the knock forward as well. So St. Peter's coughing the ball up, being their own worst enemy. Referees just double checking who knocked the ball on first. Just clarifying with his assistant. St. Peter's knocking the ball on first. That's Wesley second, so it will be Wesley ball. That wasn't exactly the knock on, but this one was. So just can't hold on to the ball, SW.
Yeah, I know, and crucial times when you're attacking and you have possession, and then you give away the scrum putting to the other side. That's very bad. That's very harsh. You know, you can't win matches like that.
Also have to give credit to the tackle technique from these Wesley players. Again, that right side scrum feed, which Shamli now has patented, I think. A Thurston College coach. Nice ball in front of the player. Straight infield it goes, and
Forward pass.
And forward pass called by the assistant on the other side. Be nice to see that one again. This is the pass that might have been forward. Have to check whether it's forward out of the hands. And the referee was right in line to see that one.
Steady.
That's the review's call. It's an umpire's call. I would go with the referee's call on that.
St. Peter's opting for the boot this time. Ashok. And here's the dangerous Kavisha Dilhara. Dragged down in a tackle beautifully by Aditya. St. Peter's undoing some good work from Pramut Aditya. Very clear signalling from Callum Sandruan.
Actually, Shanaka, in a situation like this, you might as well give the ball to the opponents rather than giving a long arm, because they will put you around at least 30-40 meters down on the park, and you will have the line out throwing. Instead of that, if you allow them to have possession,
1 minute
they need to kick it from there to get out of the danger zone.
Not coming from behind the last foot or through the gate. The pit right defender there. So 1 minute water break for the double blues and the pit rights. It's still 3 points to nil, and we're more than a quarter gone in this game. Anxious looks on the faces of the Wesley supporters. And just to tell you what's happening across Colombo and Kandy, Zahira College trailing Isipatana by 12 points to 8. Trinity leading St. Joseph's by 17 points to nil. And Royal and Vidyartha 7 points all. Look for Royal to unleash in that second half. But here at Havelock Park, it's 3-0 and it has been a real ding-dong battle. It's like one of those scoring one-day matches, isn't it, SW? Nicely taken at the front by Wesley, and they get a march on. Keeping it up nicely. And Keshara Rahul has this at the back. Wadud now to Lai. Looping around. But that's a lovely bump off by the excellent number 12, Dhanush Dasanayaka. Cutting back against the grain. And that's a long ball out. But St. Peter's had drifted nicely, cutting off the angle for the Wesley team. In the thick of it is Abdul Hadi, not content to remain at the back. He's waiting for the ball at first receiver. Dasanayaka, Lai,
Get back.
Here it is
All
again
offside.
for
Advantage.
Keshara
All
Rahul.
offside.
Not going behind the last foot, the Pete Wright defense, so it's a free play for Wadud. Seeing the space on the short side, Hamdan Safraz. Little bit of space opening up, beautiful show and go that time by Dasanaika. Almost to the line.
Advantage. Captain, not release.
In fact, that was Lai who had the ball again. Busting through is Hamdan Safraz, the big man in the second row. Pavan Thiranagama, 5 on his back but playing at prop. Here they go again from close range. Are they over? Sandharawan on the line. It's one phase away surely for Wesley and it's over. Beautifully done in the end. They applied and applied and applied pressure. They used the advantage low to good effect and got over for an Amana Bank try.
They come, they stiff, and they score. Simple as that. They don't mug around. They don't waste their time. Twice they have come to this half, they have scored. First by a penalty, 3 points. Now going over the line, they just simply demolish when you come. St. Peter's must keep them away from their danger zone if they want to make a match out of this.
They certainly do. The conversion rate when they infiltrate the opposition 22 is excellent from the Wesleyites and just short from Abdul Hadi. Pushing that one off to the side. So this is an aspect of his game he will want to maybe spend a little bit more time on to become the complete player and give his team those valuable 2-point cushions, isn't it, SW?
Yeah, absolutely, because this 1 point is very crucial because you see the replay at times and I'm thinking whether I'm seeing 8 Henrys on the field. Absolutely fantastic. The forwards have been class.
They have been pretty good indeed. Thiranagama. It's a rifled kick, but not a lot of distance. Nearly took the crowd out in front of our commentary position here as Wesley going to a 2-score lead for the first time in this game. It's taken 21 minutes for it though.
2 meter. Oh, 2 meter.
What a game. Absolutely fantastic. All credit to the 15 on the field.
Okay.
That one is overthrown, but St. Peter's managed to control it at the back. Madhu Gaspe at the back, but leaves it to the bigger lads up front.
Tackle.
This is good gang tackling from the Wesley defensive side. They're making sure that St. Peter's don't get easy yards. Straight through for the grubber. That one coming off the padding.
Number 2.
But they will come back for the penalty.
Captain. Number 2.
Keshara Rahul being warned for a shoulder charge.
Shoulder No. Shoulder last.
Sandil Gamal Pillar will have a word with his hooker. Here's where we saw it happening. He's in his headband there. Keshara Rahul. Can't quite see it there, but with the next contact, and although we couldn't see it, you can see that there's not much of a wrap from Rahul as he gets up. And this is a much easier kick for Rajic Jayon.
Seconds. 20 seconds.
Even the respectful hush of the Havelock Sports Club ground is not able to direct that ball through the post. So a little bit of overcompensation from Rajit. Miss to the left. And this time misses to the right. So perhaps it will be third time lucky for him.
Behind the ball, behind the ball. Get back.
Or perhaps another boot. But anyway, it's 8 points to nil. Wesley on top. Shanaka. If St. Peter had converted all those penalties that they got in the first few minutes, it would have been a different story.
Certainly would have. Shanuka gives it away to his captain, who might try to go on his own now that nothing seems to be working for his team. Pick up and go is the call from beyond the halfway mark. So
Get back, number 5, get back.
it's 11 minutes to go before half-time, and St. Peter's desperate to get points on the board before that break. Sahid now looking for Ashok. Here's Vishenka in the line. It's a good pass, but unfortunately a little too low for Rajit Jan, who's not having the best day today.
Handling has certainly let St. Peter's down, Chanaka, so far. And having said that, their recycling of the ball at the tackle situation has been very, very slow. Maybe steady, but they've been very slow. There is no impact.
Coach Martis looking at Vishenka Silva as a distributor this year, rather than a finisher.
Bye.
Sure, that's really his role as SW.
Good.
Falling into a bit of a Rico Ioane trap there. As Wadud runs a nice line. And that counter ruck is good from St. Peter's. Nobody wanted to get to the ball there. The Wesley forwards.
Tackle, release. Tackle.
Again, made to work very hard for any yards, any lateral yards that they're making. And that time it's knocked forward, and here's big Hamdan Safras. Ball is rolling all over the place. This is like a bowling alley, SW.
Absolutely, yeah, it's very so sad. As we see a little bit of touching each other. I'm sure they must be, hi, how are you?
Bit of frustration creeping into the game, isn't it? Because St. Peter's know that they're better than this. They've dropped a few balls, so they really want to unleash some frustration. It's important that Wesley don't hold on to this and get engaged in the back chat. Sandun Kamapila really needs to calm his team down here because he's in the lead. Doesn't want to do anything silly.
कंप्लेंट නැති වෙනවා අපනවා කියලා රයිට් හරි හරි අපනවා කියලා කම්ප්ලේන්ට් නැති වෙනවා ටීම්මේට් කියන් ඩිවයිඩ් කරන්න එපා කියලා රයිට් ඒක මම දෙන්නේ රයිට් ස්ක්‍රම් උඹ රයිනෝ බ්ලැක්
Sandun Gamalpilla not really taking a step back there, showing that he's here to play, and seemed like it was controlled theatrical aggression from the Wesley captain, just to set a marker down.
Oh, that's pretty smart. Coach. Trying to get the better of the referee, trying to get the better of the opponent's keeper. But the sad part is the referee has to come in and warn him and say, don't bite. I mean, that's not in spirit of the game. We need to get rid of that.
I think the easiest way to get rid of that is making everyone wear mouth guard, isn't it, SW? It's very difficult to bite someone with a mouth guard on.
Absolutely, Shanaka. I fully agree on that.
Dasanayaka going blindside. Here's Hamdan Safras, and plenty of running. Makes that available. Wesley again, smashing towards the 22. Here's Vadud. At first receiver was Abdul Hadi. Almost stolen there by St. Peter's. And they go short side once again. Hemachandra into the 22.
Get back.
Keshara Rahul. The angle is a good one, but the pass isn't. Lai. Here he goes again, Des Dasanayaka. It's a big lad in centre field.
Advantage.
That was a high tackle, but doing well to get under that was Kavisha Dilhara. And there's another drop goal attempt from Kai Salai, but this time it's good.
Number one. Number one. Doctor.
It's like there might be a small finger dislocation here. Quite a bit of back chat. Medics on the field for Wesley also getting involved a little. It's been pretty intense. Fortunately, Kavisha Dilhara is the one who looks like he's got a finger dislocation. Hopefully it's just one joint that can be popped back.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Wesley is using their forwards away from the tackle pod, and rather than keeping it close, and they're making numbers, they're making ground, they're making gaps. Where St. Peter's are keeping it very close. It's more pick and go. But here the distribution, and then make another pod, and then they distribute it out, and they're using the width.
The difference seems to be in the cardio conditioning, SW, because these St. Peter's lads, they're big boys and they want to take it up the middle, they want to smash and make headway in the close tram lines. But somehow the Wesley forwards seem a little bit more mobile, and they're making St. Peter's move laterally. They're forcing St. Peter's to move away from their comfort zone, and they're really tiring them out, and that's why things are not looking so good for St. Peter's, and now looks even worse because number one, Ashaz Farooq, has been given a yellow card for a high tackle to add to the woes that he's already feeling, because he's got a heavily struck up face as well.
High tackle, number one.
That's a very, very advantageous position for Wesley. A very dangerous thing. As you see this now, the winger,
number 12 off, number 12.
Again, taking from the bases of the
number
scrum,
12.
moving away, seeing the gaps, evading the tackles, and trying to make room, penetrate every gap that is available.
Yes, they're spotting things well. They're playing what's in front of them. And this is what we talked about earlier in the broadcast, SW, the fact that this is a team that has played together for quite a few years now. And they know each other quite well. They trust each other, and you can see that on the scoreline. Nicely taken by Hemachandra in the middle of the line out, and it's tidily done by Wesley. They've managed to undo some good defensive work by the Peterites. Lai. Fawaz straight through the gap. Still going, and is he over the line? Not yet. And it's opening up now for Wesley. Kavisha Dilhara will go in by the left corner flag. Almost under the post, but certainly by the corner flag. Kavisha Dilhara has lost his headband, but he's got 5 points.
On field decision එක try ground in okay ඊට කලින් pass එක බලන්න ඕන forward beginning.
Well, they're checking a forward pass. The pass that led to the try. The grounding is okay, so on field the decision is a try. So referee Kalum Sandruwan will trot along with his assistants towards the big screen and just check whether there's a forward pass. Seems very much like the second assistant is very sure it was forward.
TMO.
Here's Lai coming around in the number 10 jumper. Watch him on the left side of the screen with the strapped thigh. He collects the ball there. And he passes that ball. That's the pass they're Our thinking is forward. It was called immediately by the assistant referee. But this angle won't really tell us anything.
Shanaka, thank God I gave up refereeing. Just imagine running the extra 75 meters to the screen to watch whether it was a forward pass or not.
The referees in the modern game probably have to do more running than the players. Here's Lai's pass. Can we see where it came from? Does it go forward off the hands?
Right, thank you.
The referee's right in line. We've got to trust his word.
Okay, forward.
Decision by committee, so it looks like that try will be chalked off. The Wesley players can't believe it.
Forward pass.
And the Peterites live to breathe another day. Sandul Gamanpila again remonstrating with the referee.
Captain! Repeated complaint करना है यहाँ पे थिंग सर बोलूँ नहीं करना है अरे कदम माँ देख के ना टीम एरिया में देख करना ना करने बाहर
Seems very much
Marky.
that both
Time on,
teams
time
are
on.
trying to paint the others as villains.
Number 8
Referee Sandharuwan not having any
number
of
8
it.
out line it front row
This is an important scrum. This is a very important passage of play, SW, because if Wesley turn the ball over here, keep the Peterites under pressure, then the game might be beyond the second half comeback. But if St. Peter's manage to get out of jail here, here's Vishankar Silva running out of his 22, of his try line rather.
advantage side entry.
Side entry is the call and a bit of a pressure relieving penalty for St. Peter's. They'll be very happy with that. And you have to say, Naham Hemachandra has not helped his team today in terms of discipline. Just a little overeager at the breakdown and giving away penalties in crucial positions where his team could really have exerted pressure.
So we got about 3 minutes to half time. That forward pass, disallowed try, actually is huge relief for St. Peter's. They'd have gone up at 15 or 13 points, and you psychologically start thinking about it.
So what would have been an Amana Bank try has been chalked off. And St. Peter's now breaking through the line. Beautiful work from Madhu Gaspe, protecting the ball for dear life. In fact, that was Ratnayaka. And now it's available for St. Peter's. A little bit of space for the dangerous Vishankar Silva. In midfield, coming up from his position at fullback. Ratnayaka again.
Tagarol has, no hands, no hands. Rock ball.
And here's Revon. Still going. Revon Pereira. Vishankar Silva now forced to kick. Doesn't go out, but again, it's not fielded well by Wesley. Their back three
Get back.
are dangerous, but need to field the ball better, and that's a wonderful bounce. Really fortuitous bounce that time for Abdul Hadi, and they won't get the benefit of it because it is half time on referee Sandharuwan's watch. And Wesley College looking good value for their 8-0 lead. It's been a cracking first half. St. Peter's have only themselves to blame for all those dropped balls and not being able to string enough phases together. This experienced coaching staff with Sanath Mart is at the helm. Rajiv Pereira and of course Kevin Dixon will have to settle the lads down and come up with a little bit of a better strategy for how to break through the staunch Wesleyite defence. Wesley, for their part, just need to keep their heads, like Rudyard Kipling said, and we'll see whether both those teams can do that when we come back after the break.